I'm Guthrie, I come from a land far, far away. What else can I tell you about this? Circle house, they roll their own. We have here. That's a bridge humbucker, a bit like a Duncan JB, but without that mid-range honk. The interesting thing about that is you can roll the volume knob down. And you get a believable clean sound. If you've got a death bucker with really high output, even when you roll the volume knob down, it tends to sound muddy. That to me is not a bad clean sound. Then we have the humbucker there, a little bit lower output. Different flavours of single chorus stuff. So we've got the Texan one here. Which is pleasing. There's still a bit of style to it. This one here, this and half of a little prettier, and here we have the Telecaster kind of sound. It's that coil and that coil. So lots of stuff going on there, Jack. Regular bridge humbucker on 10. And now I'll push the button. Can you hear a difference? Yeah. After a build-up like that. So, yeah, I've told you a bit about my Sir guitar. I hope you all want one. I nearly forgot something. This is a strange little feature that I requested. This is, ladies and gentlemen, the tremolo no. It's not doing anything right now. There's a rod and there's a tube, and I'm not going to demonstrate what happens. You can see it. Moving freely. So absolutely transparent, you don't know it's there, but then you tighten these things and it becomes a fixed bridge. And the advantage of that is, of course, I have always wanted a floating bridge, so all those lovely Beckisms you can only do when the bridge goes up as well as down. But then if you want to do your pedal steel licks where you're bending one string but not bending another string, what's happening is this: you bend one string and all the other strings go flat. Observe, this is the E string. I will now bend the A string. So that's problematic. It's also problematic if you have a song in drop D. Perhaps some of you have a song in drop D, so I'll tighten this thing up and now Go back to being irresponsible. Talk about his vision.
Can you play some of your slap?
I can try. Let me preface this by saying slapping on the guitar is a terrible idea. It looks better than it sounds. But the basic idea, we're just stealing this from bass players, actually sounds good on the bass, and I was slapping on a bass before I tried to translate it into guitar. Basic ingredients are, of course, that, which is just a bouncing kind of motion. You've got to so there's quite a lot you can do just with your thumb, and it totally gives you a different percussive kind of sound. For the silly stuff, it's nice to add in kind of the partner to this motion. You can get a similar thing just by slapping with those fingers. So you might work on alternating, and then there's a kind of technique 2.5. where you leave those fingers down and then slap again, so you get a dead note. So like an open slap there, another dead note. Then of course you add in the pull. And the only other thing I do that's maybe unusual, it's been compensating for the fact that I can't do the Victor Wooden thing. You know that? Where he's slapping up and down. My thumb doesn't want to do that. It's a little bigger than the space between two strings. So, for the faster and percussive stuff, sometimes I'll split this hand up into 2 or more regions. So, So that's about all you can do. Of course, it all sounds better if you get your envelope filter involved. I don't know, I'd say if you're working over... Let me think, I'll try and make a loop for you. So over that, that's your basic triad notes there. And then there, I'm trying to turn into a minor 7, which is the slightly more expensive version of the same chord. That note is just a little more sophisticated sounding. Or then I can add in the 4th and I've got the best scale in the world. We all know that one, and I And I'm probably annoying you a little bit now, but I'm comfortable with that. It's all about learning. I'm annoying you for a grander purpose. But then when I play that, you feel like you've earned it. Fair enough. one string, that's in the scale. I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you just trust the scale, if you assume that you can play any note because the scale said it would be okay, you might find yourself committing an atrocity similar to the one that I just played for you. Somebody used to teach me a long time ago, and I'd get blues guys who'd go, yeah, I like you, you're musical, that makes sense. What can I teach you? And they'd say, show me those. It's okay, and I'd write out these scale patterns, and they'd come back the next week. What are you doing? You used to be good. Just slightly Dorian. Starting point and an ending point, and then your knowledge of the scale will dictate how many stops there are en route. So you might have a... so they're kind of the same thing, but one of them takes 5 notes to get from there to there, and one of them takes 4 notes to get from there to there. That's going. And that bit at the end. Everyone gets that wrong. Of course, in India, we had one rehearsal, twice the speed of the record. The guys are absolutely fine with it. Just stopped. And said, well, we have to tell you. In our musical culture, that's kind of a cliche. You think it's really clever. You've done 3 groups of 5 in the row. You do that when we're 4 years old. And then it's called a T-high. This thing where you have the same group and you do it 3 times. So you might have daddy again, daddy again, daddy again, and then you land at the start of the 4th repetition, 4th on beat 1. So that's part of what those guys train themselves to be aware of. You don't need an instrument to do it. It's just brainwashing yourself with where the rhythmic intersections happen.